digging basements and trenches, loading trucks, or setting pipe. But more and more people are discovering that excavators can be used for far more than that.
Today, the majority of the excavators still are used for moving dirt, but the customers are finding out that excavators can be used for other purposes. You'll see less four-wheel drive loaders nowadays on jobs. They're using attachments, clean-out buckets, hoe clamps, and other items that breakers and everything that really adds to what the excavator can do, minimizes the number of machines that a customer has to use when he uses the excavators. He's trying to use it as a multi-purpose machine.
Well, we're having some success with specialized equipment such as this 892 scrap handler. We're finding that there's with the downturn in the economy and the excavating business being down, we're looking more towards industry. There's a lot more business in the backyards of those plants than what we expect when we first drive into them. There's a lot of equipment around that we don't notice, so we're going after the industrial markets, scrap handling, material handling, waste management type of markets.
This video looks at some examples of how excavators are being used in very versatile ways, and how quick couplers are being used to improve the excavator's versatility. We'll see how a recycling company uses a wheeled excavator for loading and unloading, and how an engine manufacturer uses an excavator in handling materials. We'll also see how excavators are used in scrap handling, demolition, and in a salt mine underneath one of the Great Lakes. These are just a few examples of greater excavator versatility. Four different types of applications are shown. If you prefer, you may search through the tape to view just those segments you want to see. This title page with the application highlighted begins each segment. Bellow Metal Recycling of Windsor, Ontario recycles metal turnings from automotive manufacturing plants into cold-pressed briquettes. The 595D uses either an electromagnet or an orange peel grapple. Changing from one to the other is a very quick and easy process. The 595D serves as a utility machine, unloading incoming steel turnings from trucks and rail cars, feeding the pedestal-mounted material handler, and loading the outgoing briquettes into trucks or rail cars. Mobility of the 595D is the key to its function in this recycling operation. It covers 1/2 city block square and utilizes a rail spur approximately 3/4 of a mile away. Ford Motor Company purchased this 892 DLC material handler conversion for their engine casting plant in Windsor, Ontario. The machine has a widened undercarriage, raised cab, outside catwalk, and a hydraulic-driven generator for the electromagnet. Although not as mobile as a wheeled excavator, the 892 needs fast transport speeds to travel to different locations in the plant. Besides loading and unloading scrap steel, it handles rejected engine block and cylinder head castings for remelt in the foundry. Zubik Metal Recycling of London, Ontario purchased this 892 DLC with a JRB stick-lock quick coupler. This system allows the modified Labauti shear to be exchanged with a modified conventional excavator arm for bucket, magnet, or grapple use. By uncoupling the stick-lock top pin, the shear can be laid flat on the trailer bed since the coupler still retains the bottom pin. This brings the boom height below legal limits, allowing the 892D to be transported quickly and legally on one truck. With this feature, Zubik can quickly dispatch this unit to sites away from the scrapyard to do contract demolition.
We see in the future with the 892 and the quick coupler and stuff, the way it's set up, and companies that have contacted us and renting it out with the operator on that basis, never mind working for ourselves. And depending on attachments, the possibilities really are endless with it, you know.
In Richmond, British Columbia, South Arm Excavating owns a 70D excavator and two 310D backhoes. The 70D is equipped with a quick coupler, a hydraulic hammer, a compactor, plus 5 buckets from 12 to 60 inches. The key to South Arm's operation is the ability to interchange all the 70D attachments with their 310D backhoes. This company understands machine versatility. So does Jack Seawheel Limited, a large aggregate supplier and an asphalt producer in British Columbia. They use a quick coupler on their 992 DLC, which allows them to quickly switch between a 4 cubic yard mass excavating bucket and a 2 cubic yard digging bucket. Most of the time, the 4 cubic yard bucket is used for truck loading loose material and maintaining silt settling ponds for the aggregate wash plant. Both Jack Seawheel and South Arm, which we just saw, are customers of Coast Tractor and Equipment. In 1992, Coast Tractor sold over 100 excavators, accounting for 41% of their new machine sales. An important factor in these sales is that every excavator was equipped with a quick coupler plus 2 buckets. In fact, in the previous 5 years, they have only sold 3 excavators without quick couplers. They have found that their customers are interested in versatility. Buckeye Wrecking of Canton, Ohio, uses a demolition grapple on a 690 ELC. Potentially, the grapple could be the most popular attachment after a second bucket. With a grapple, the operator can tear down a structure, sort and stockpile the debris, or load it into trucks.
Well, basically, we use it for demolition, tear the building down, then separate. We do scrap yards, and we load out scrap for other companies, and we separate their iron and load motor blocks, and there's various different things. And then our bucket, we just use that for loading out our trucks when we use backfill and stuff like that.
H&W Contractors of Massillon, Ohio, uses a quick coupler to change between an assortment of front-end tools.
The quick couplers that fit the D&E model, we're using a grapple hook. We have a vibratory compactor, assortment of buckets, grater blade, a 7-foot wide grater blade, which is nice. On the smaller machine, it's nicer for grading inside buildings with. During the day, I would say on the average, I might have 3 or 4 different attachments, and I might switch back and forth a half a dozen times a day.
Here, the grapple is used to surgically extract curbing without damaging the asphalt street. Over 5,000 demolition grapples have been sold since 1971 by Labaudy Manufacturing, and the demand for this type of attachment is increasing. Sifto Salt Company of Goderich, Ontario, mines salt 1,800 feet below ground and 3.5 miles offshore underneath Lake Huron. Sifto needed a machine that could position and power a hydraulic hammer at up to 60 feet overhead to scale salt fractures from the walls and roof of the mine after blasting. For a period of 3 years, Southwest Tractor of London, Ontario, and the local Caterpillar dealer consulted with Sifto on competitive machine modifications to accomplish the task. Sifto served as the design broker, keeping the competitive dealers unaware of each other's design proposals. Southwest Tractor purchased an in-house AutoCAD computer-aided design system and had dealer personnel instructed on its use. AutoCAD helped them design a cab elevator that can position the operator up to 28 feet above the mine floor. It also let them address many other specific engineering and design requirements for positioning the hydraulic hammer at the end of the 6-foot telescoping arm. Was all this time and expense worth a $700,000 sale? Southwest Tractor thinks so. They have the potential of selling 2 more units to Tltle and 1 more unit to a sister operation in England. They're also looking at additional machines in yet uncontacted salt and potash mines. There's a common thread running through all these applications. It's unconventional thinking, brought to bear on a customer's specific job need. The result is an excavator sale into a non-traditional market or unconventional application. And a satisfied customer, a customer you would not have gotten by pursuing just the traditional markets of trenching and basement excavation. The key, then, is to take advantage of greater excavator versatility.